The four most feared and powerful sorcerers in history. Dark magic, forbidden pacts, and legendary power. Have you ever wondered who the sorcerers were that made kings tremble, forced churches to burn forbidden books, and brought entire crowds to their knees in silence? Throughout history, a few dared to touch the invisible veil, and returned with a power so intense, they were seen as gods, or monsters. In today's video, you'll discover the four most powerful, feared, and dangerous sorcerers in human history. These are not just legends. Their names still echo in rituals, occult traditions, and whispered invocations across the world. If you've ever felt that reality hides deeper truths, if you seek real power and hidden knowledge, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready. What you're about to hear is not for the faint of heart. Part 1. Sorcerers who challenged gods and kings. Do you believe in magic? Not stage tricks, but the kind that haunts the night and bends the fabric of reality. The kind that calls unseen forces, summons entities, and transforms destiny. Get ready, because today you'll meet the four most powerful and terrifying sorcerers the world has ever known. Whispered for centuries, these names are wrapped in mystery, fear, and raw power. Let's begin with the man who challenged the apostles themselves, Simon Magus, the primordial sorcerer of chaos. Simon the Magician, or Simon Magus, lived in the 1st century AD, and is considered by some to be the very first Christian heretic. He claimed to be the reincarnation of God, and was said to levitate, alter matter, and even defy death itself. According to Gnostic sources, Simon accessed the spiritual realm and communicated with entities known as eons. He believed his companion Helena was a divine emanation trapped in flesh, and he was her messianic liberator, worshipped by some as a deity and feared by others as a demon. Simon's teachings and powers shook the very foundations of early Christianity. Spell linked to Simon Magus. Spell of Dark Ascension, a ritual meditation on Gnostic symbols, designed to shatter illusion and awaken inner power by confronting your shadow self. Gilles de Rais, the nobleman of blood and sorcery, a 15th century French nobleman and once a war hero alongside Joan of Arc. Gilles de Rais descended into occultism, necromancy, and what some call infernal magic. Accused of performing blood rituals, summoning demons, and invoking forbidden spirits for wealth and power, his castle became a nightmarish laboratory of the arcane. Even under torture, his confessions were backed by witnesses. He had consulted forbidden grimoires, drawn blood in sacrifice, and called upon entities like Belphegor and Baron. Spell associated with Gilles de Rais. Invocation of Profane Desire, a symbolic blood offering ritual where the practitioner gives part of themselves, hair, blood, breath, to attract entities promising forbidden power. Still think magic is just fantasy? The next two names will take you even deeper into the dark, where ancient forces still whisper and the veil grows thin. Drop a comment. Which one shocked you more, Simon or Gilles? Let's see who among you would dare unlock hidden power. Part 2. Crowley and Baba Yaga, shadows, sex magic, and wild wisdom. If there's one name that deeply divides the occult world, it's Aleister Crowley. Known as the wickedest man in the world by the British press in the 20th century, Crowley was not just a sorcerer, he was a spiritual revolutionary. Born in 1875, he was a poet, alchemist, ceremonial magician, and founder of the philosophy of Thelema, whose central motto is, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." Crowley was fearless. He challenged the morality of his time, practiced sex magic, used consciousness-altering substances in rituals, and founded secret orders like the AA and the Ordo Templi Orientis. His books, such as the Book of the Law and Magic in Theory and Practice, remain foundational texts studied by magicians worldwide. What made him dangerous wasn't just his vast occult knowledge, it was his ability to inspire. Crowley didn't want blind followers. He wanted conscious magicians. He taught that every person is a star with a unique path in the universe. That made him a threat to any institution seeking to control the human spirit. Spell linked to Aleister Crowley. Invocation ritual of Hoor-Paar-Kraat, a silent, deep meditation ritual to contact the holy guardian angel, the divine essence within, using archaic gestures and vibrational sounds. This spell awakens the true purpose of the soul. Powerful ritual created by Crowley. The lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, a magical cleansing and protection structure that banishes unwanted energies using gestures, divine names, and visualization, used by beginners and adepts alike as a foundation for all magical workings. Baba Yaga, the witch of the world's gateways. While Western sorcerers were accused of demonic pacts, deep in Eastern Europe, an ancient figure was both revered and feared, Baba Yaga. More than a witch, she is the archetype of wild and tamed wisdom. In Russian folklore, Baba Yaga appears as a grotesque old woman living in a hut on chicken legs, mastering secrets of life, death, and transformation. Behind the myth, occult scholars see her as the guardian of thresholds between the visible and invisible worlds. She tests, initiates, and grants occult knowledge only to those who prove worthy. They say those who confront her with courage receive 3 gifts: the fire of consciousness, the key to transformation, and the gift of seeing beyond time. Spell linked to Baba Yaga, hidden path spell, performed at crossroads or forest edges, drawing sacred symbols on the ground with herbs and offering something symbolic, a lock of hair, a personal object to the old mother to reveal ancient secrets. Powerful ritual connected to Baba Yaga's tradition. Ritual of the wild moon, performed on full moon nights, involving symbolic mushrooms, fire, and circular dances to connect with nature's wisdom and ask for guidance through dreams or visions. 3 names revealed, but the last one might be the most feared of all. A man said to have traded his soul for forbidden knowledge and paid the ultimate price. If this content is opening your eyes to the hidden world, share it with someone who seeks the deep knowledge. Spreading wisdom keeps it alive. Part 3: Faust and the Price of the Soul. Forbidden knowledge and dark pacts. You've probably heard the phrase, selling your soul to the devil. That legend was popularized because of him, Johann Georg Faust, or simply Dr. Faustus. Living in 15th-16th century Germany, he was an alchemist, astrologer, physician, philosopher, and according to many accounts, one of Europe's most feared ceremonial magicians. Faust wasn't just a scholar, he was obsessed with absolute knowledge. Frustrated by human limits, he turned to forbidden practices. And here the legend begins. He supposedly summoned the demon Mephistopheles and sealed a bloody pact. In exchange for 24 years of power, unlimited wisdom, and worldly pleasures, Faust gave up his soul. This myth, immortalized by Goethe, is more than literature. It echoes profound occult symbols. Faust represents the mage who dared too much, refusing mediocrity and risking everything to uncover the universe's secrets. But his end was dark. Reports say he died horrifically, disfigured, as if dragged to the underworld. Some occultists believe this was just his final initiation, a passage to higher planes of existence. Spell linked to Dr. Faust. Spell of forbidden knowledge involves deep meditation on alchemical symbols and reciting passages from the Key of Solomon grimoire. The goal is to contact wisdom entities, but it risks revealing truths that may drive one mad. Ritual inspired by Faust's myth. The Veil Pact. Symbolically, the practitioner writes their deepest desires on oil-anointed paper, burns it under a black candle, and calls upon the cosmic shadow for exchange. A dangerous ritual reserved for experienced magicians due to its chaotic forces. Extra spell. The Seal of Containment. Saturn's Seal, a protection and control spell used to contain entities during evocations. It involves drawing Saturn's symbol with black salt inside a circle. The practitioner stands outside, chanting sacred names to maintain control over invoked energies. 4 sorcerers, 4 different paths to absolute power. But what did they all share? An unstoppable desire to transcend ordinary reality. In the final part, you'll learn how these ancient practices still echo today, and how their rituals survive in the shadows of the modern world. If you could wield Faust's power, would you? Comment below, and if you haven't liked or subscribed yet, now's the time. True knowledge begins when you choose to seek it. Part 4. Living Rituals, Ancient Sorcery that Still Shapes the Modern World. You might think these stories belong to the past, that these sorcerers died with their eras, doctrines, and pacts, but the truth is different. Their rituals, spells, and philosophies are very much alive, practiced by initiates, secret orders, and solitary seekers who still challenge the visible world in search of the invisible. True magic never dies. It only changes shape, language, and symbols. And the most chilling part, you might be closer to it than you think. Ritual 1. The inner sealing circle inspired by Faust's tradition, but adapted for modern times. This ritual doesn't summon demons, it summons your own inner guardian, the hidden part of your psyche that holds your true power. Materials: 4 black candles, a small mirror, a personal sigil drawn by hand. Execution: trace a salt circle around yourself. Place the mirror in front, candles at the 4 cardinal points. Light the candles, say your full name aloud, and gaze at your reflection for 7 minutes. Visualize your shadow approaching and listen to what it has to say. Ritual 2. The Call of the Deep Night. Inspired by Baba Yaga and Eastern shamanic traditions, this ritual opens channels for prophetic dreams. Materials: rue leaves, lavender, a cup of water, and a blue candle. Execution: in a quiet room, light the candle, place herbs under your pillow and water by your bed. Recite: may the portals of the invisible open in my dreams. May the guide speak. Sleep in silence. Upon waking, write down any impressions or visions. Spell 3. The Power Link to the Past. Connect symbolically with great sorcerers through vibrational alignment. Materials: a purple candle, a symbol associated with the sorcerer pentagram. Sigil, image, myrrh incense. Execution: with the candle and incense. Hold the symbol and recite: may the spark of knowledge find me. May time be no barrier. May the link form between my spirit and yours. Meditate for 15 minutes and record any images or thoughts. Spell 4. The Veil of Ancestral Silence. Inspired by Crowley. This spell seeks not answers, but absolute silence, the void from which all power emerges. Materials: a dark room, white candle, no external sound. Execution: extinguish all lights. Light the candle, sit in meditation, repeat: nothing, everything, silence. Repeat for 10 consecutive nights. Something inside you will reveal itself, or dissolve. What does this reveal about you? You made it this far. That says a lot. You're not just curious, you're a seeker. And perhaps, on some level, you've already heard the call of these forces. The stories of these for sorcerers aren't just about them. They're about the hidden potential in all of us. They were extreme, dangerous, intense. But maybe that's what the modern world has lost. The courage to go deep. And you? Will you ignore the call? Or start your own journey into the shadows? If this video touched something ancient and deep inside you, share it, save it, return to it. Because true magic begins when you say, yes. Warning: our content is educational, for entertainment and historical research purposes, based on archaeological and cultural sources. We do not encourage the practice of rituals, spiritual activities, or any actions that may compromise your or others' safety or well-being.